we say good morning to the head coach of the Cats, Frank Solich. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, Russ.
Congratulations again on the victory, 34-19 over Eastern Illinois on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks. I think our guys played pretty well in the game, and obviously we felt they were going to be a challenge. They are very good in their division. Went to the quarterfinals last year, and obviously have some very good football players coming out of that program, some good coaches coming out of that program. So we're pleased with the win.
It was a drive that was cut short on drive one. Eastern Illinois ripped the field, and they showed their dual threat ability, but Ohio bowed up defensively, forced a field goal. If that got into the end zone on drive one, the complexion of the game might have been a little different, but forcing them to kick a field goal on drive one I thought was incredibly impressive, considering how they moved the ball against you throughout the bulk of that drive.
Well, it was good to obviously hold them to 3 points once they got down inside the red zone, but obviously it's a long game. You're going to have to adjust to certain things as the game goes on, and I think our players and coaches are able to do that to where one drive is not going to mean the difference in the game unless it's the last drive of the game.
The running combination now that you've used a variety of backs. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth, but A.J. Ouellette and J.D. Sprague have combined for 7 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. You're a running football team again, and that must make you incredibly happy considering your background and how you were as a player as well.
Yeah, if you're a running football team, then they should not be able to make you a one-dimensional team. But because everybody's got pretty good receivers now, everybody's got quarterbacks that can throw fairly well, and so you're going to make some plays through the air. But if you're unable to establish any kind of a ground game, then you're in trouble offensively. And so we work very hard at having a good ground game. And I think even though we have young, inexperienced linemen for the most part, we're getting some things done up front and got good backs behind them.
Stretched across your linebacking core, your top 3 tackles are from your linebacking core. The job that those guys have done for you this year, Javon Johnson and Blair Brown and, of course, Quentin Poling, a lot of times it's not one unit. Why has it been so gelled in your linebacking core from a tackle perspective?
Well, they're very good athletes, and they're very physical, and I think they know the game. They've spent time, Coach Collins coaches the linebackers, and very thorough coach with them from the linebacker position, and they study film, they know the opponent, so they know their reads, and they know what to do, and then they're fast football players. This is the fastest group of linebackers that we've ever had since we've been here. And so, they're able to make some plays where guys with not quite their speed get done sometimes.
As Ohio takes on Central Michigan on the air at 2:30 for the kick at 3:30. Keys to the ball game, Frank Solich, and I guess they're probably always the same when you take on CMU, much like you talked about in their profile last segment.
Yeah. Well, we're back in the conference play, and obviously we had hoped that a lot of our young players that are playing would be getting more and more mature as they go through the season. It'll be important for those young guys to play well, especially at quarterback. AJ doesn't have a lot of reps, but he's got enough now. He's a very calm, very smart guy. He needs to play well, and then the cast around him needs to be very good. We need to really start winning the turnover ratio and win it with regularity. We're a -6 on turnovers. That's to be 3-2 with a -6 on turnovers says something, but we're making it much more difficult on ourselves than it should be.
Good luck. We'll see you up there on the Mid-Michigan Mound on Saturday.
Thank you.